Hey, what's up, guys? So, this is going to be probably a pretty short podcast, but I hope it serves someone. Um, what I want to talk about, I don't feel this way in this current moment. The last week has felt really pretty good for me. I feel kind of back, but let me tell you, January and February, they just were not my favorite months. So much stuff happened, it's not even funny. The reason I'm creating this podcast right now is because I'm sitting here journaling all this out just because I do this thing where every week I usually I do a weekly recap of like what were my goals, what did I accomplish, and what are my goals, for the coming week. So it's kind of a way of looking back, being like, what did I say I was going to do, reporting on what I actually did, and then kind of setting new stuff for the future. But anyways, it's funny because the last time that I did this was from December 23rd to December. Or wait, is that right? No, I probably have this a little bit wrong. So it was from December 30th to January 5th. And it is now March 8th. And basically, what happened is about 2 months went by and I didn't even fill that out. And that's how much of a shit show it was. But, anyways, there's so much that I could share about this. There's just so many things that happened, so many unfortunate events, so many unforeseen events. It was honestly just a lot. It was really mentally tough for me to go through that season. I really hated the whole thing. I really was not having a great time. Looking back at this journal, though, I'm like, well, it's obvious that you were having a bad time. And really journaling this back out, I was like, wow, I thought I was kind of handling this really, really bad. But it's like, well, I mean, based on what it was, I mean, I think you were doing the best you could. But anyways, regardless, I want to share this with you. This is just something that I think will be really helpful for you in business. I'll just tell a quick story, and I'll give you the lesson for me, or a way that I think about things, and it really serves me, and I hope that it serves you. So this is just a small fraction of the things that went on in those 2 months, but I want to share this. So basically, if you are familiar with the strategy that we run, like the automatic growth funnel that we run, then you know there's a large piece of that is DMs. And, if you're a business owner, you're, 10K, 15K, 20K or more per month, you probably, like if you're running a coaching business, you probably don't want to be spending more than you probably don't want to be spending all of your time in your DMs. At some point, that's probably one of the first things that you outsource, and you get somebody else to take over those DMs and help you book appointments, right? So we've had, an appointment setter help in my DMs for, I don't know, probably, January, February, March, probably 15 months now, right? We've had people helping with that. So I made that switch more than a year ago. And don't get me wrong, if you're listening to this, and you are not a client, and even if you are a client, actually, sometimes I am in my DMs, and a lot of times I'm not. And yeah, so I don't know. Take that for what it is. But I just like to be a kind of an open book, right? And realistically, sometimes people maybe don't like that, but it's like, do you want to run a business where you're chained to your DMs all the time? Probably not. So it's like, well, I got to be a role model here. Like, so if you're not down for that, then it is what it is. Don't hire me. Don't work with me. Don't talk to me in the DMs. Anyways, yeah. So let's go back to talking about this appointment setter thing. We had an appointment setter, and this was actually the first time that I had an appointment setter placed, and so there was a guy that I knew from some coaching programs that I was in, and he placed appointment setters, and at some point, I wasn't overly happy with the appointment setter that I had, and so I did a bunch of interviews, and some of the interviews I did were from this guy who places the appointment setters, and I ended up bringing this guy on. So I paid this guy, an amount of money to place this setter for us, and basically what happened was about 3 months later, that setter who had been working for us, and this was at the most unfortunate timing too. Like myself and some team members were about to go to this in-person event, and so we weren't going to be as present in the business stuff. But anyways, this appointment setter just messages me urgently. He's like, "Hey, yo, can we talk?" And we go talk, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving." And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, like what's your notice period? And he's like, well, I already took the job and I start tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, so what you're trying to say is you're giving me zero notice, right? And he's like, well, like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Let me rephrase this. What would you want someone to do? How much notice would you want someone to give you if you were me? Like, let's think about this if you were in my situation, right? He's like, well, yeah, I get it, but like, I'm out. And so I was like, God damn it. I was like, people are just funny, right? He's like, yeah, I'm going to work for this other guy. This person hooked me up with the gig. And I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. Who hooked you up with the gig? And he gave me the guy's name. And I was like, dude, like, he placed you. Like, the guy that I paid, who places the appointment setters, i.e. you, he was the one that placed you, that I paid to place you in my business, and then he gave you away after I trained you and we worked with you and we made you a part of the team and invested time and energy and resources into you for 3 months. The guy who placed you in our business is also the guy that gave you away to somebody else? I was like, you have to be kidding me. Is this for real? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So that and you're giving me zero notice. That's how it is right now? For real? He's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. I was mad about it, obviously, but I was like, dude, if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. Like, I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to, whatever. You know how you're acting, right? That's up to you. Sure, the universe will figure out something to do with that. But I was like, all right, man, cool. And so then I messaged the guy who had placed him, and I was like, dude, you gonna send my money back or what? And he's like, yeah, I'll send your money back. And I 100% gave him a piece of my mind because it's like, dude, like, this isn't just the, somewhat nominal, if that's the right word, amount of money that I sent you. This is just like on a whole nother level of like, dude, we invested a lot of time and energy into this dude. He's just getting up to speed. He's just finding his groove. And now he's leaving. That is a massive waste of time and energy and resources of the company. Like, it's not just about the tiny amount of money I paid you. Like, it's just like, that's barely a piece of this. It's like, did you really place this dude and waste our time like that? And then go send him to somebody else? You have to be kidding me. Right? So it's just like, yes, he did, send the funds back. But it's like, man, that's just so greasy in my mind. Like, just so greasy. And I'm just like, on what planet is that okay? And I understand why he did it. Like, there was a reason why he did it that would have been, good exposure for his business and, potentially a good opportunity for the setter as well. But I was like, the way in which you guys executed this with the zero notice and like, giving away somebody that you play, like, it just is not good, and it's like, I get it. And at the same time, it's like, dude, is that really how you operate? Like, are you really the type of person that you'll just step over anyone to get what you want? Like, oh, that just doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth, And so anyways, I was pretty pissed off about this situation. But at the same time, I was mad about it for about 10 minutes. And I gave both of them a good piece of my mind. I was like, hey, I'm going to share what I think here. Number one, to share what I think. But number two, to just like, God, I hope this serves you in some way. Like, I hope that you don't keep doing this to people and, for lack of better words, fuck them over. Like, both of you. You know what I mean? Because it, like, benefits you. Like, God, at least do it more tactfully. At least give some notice, So anyways, gave those two a piece of my mind and, was mad about it for about 10 minutes. And about 5 seconds later, I was like, you know what? Good. Sitting in my room, sitting in my chair, just thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? This is perfect. Although this really isn't perfect, I'm pissed off. This is super inconvenient. We extra need somebody to help us run stuff while the rest of the team's going to this in-person event. This is like the absolute not optimal timing for this to happen because like I'm going to be MIA for the next little bit solving this problem. So our business is like, It's going to cut off like booking calls and revenue coming into the business. So like, this is not the time. And at the same time, good. All caps, GOOD, good. Because it's like, Morgan, welcome to business. This is what business is. This is what you signed up for. You are going to get fucked over, right? Like, you are going to have unfortunate things happen. And if you think that this is the most unfortunate thing that's going to happen to you in the time that you run a business, given the goals that you have and the mountains you want to climb, you are fucking crazy, right? Like, you're crazy. You're out to lunch. I'm glad this is happening because you need to be the type of person that knows how to deal with these kinds of situations in the best way that you can. The fact that this is happening is a gift. It's a gift in how you deal with it. It's a gift because you know what you need right now? You need to get better at building a team. You need to get better at, finding people, hiring them, training them, retaining them, like all of those things. Like, you asked to be more skilled as a leader. You asked to be more skilled as a CEO. Here's the gift. This is the universe showing up, giving you exactly what you fucking asked for. And so, although this is bullshit, and I'll tell these guys that it's bullshit, at the same time, it's an absolute gift. And so, the only thing that I hope you take away from this story is shit's gonna happen. Things aren't going to turn out the way that you wanted them to. Unfortunate events will occur. And it's really how you respond to them. And just keep in mind, this is the growth that you asked for. You said you wanted to hit X goal, but this is what becoming the version of yourself that can hit X goal looks like. And so the one thing that I will say to you is that in my mind, everything that's bad is good. There is good in everything that's bad. And everything that's a problem, there's an opportunity. Every problem's an opportunity. And if you look at things like that, life is just a lot less hard. Business is a lot less hard. And I think it will just be an overall better experience for you because you understand that things are happening for you. Everything's happening for you. And so hopefully this was helpful, just doing some journaling. And I wanted to share this with you. Lots of love. Keep kicking ass and taking names. And I will see you on the next pod. Okay, bye.